Your handout, right, that was distributed at lunchtime?
It is.
Okay, so I just want to go over this really briefly, and I'm hoping Mr. Valenzuela is still here, or Dr. Valenzuela. Okay, so, you know, you and I have talked a few times over the last couple of days, actually, quite at length, because I still was staggered by some of these numbers, and I still am, and I just want to confirm I got this right. The average use of pesticides for production ag, 8 to 10 times, maybe less, maybe more, but no more than 12 during a growing cycle. I've had 10 farmers tell me that, so I don't think there's any disqualifications about that. But your data says that one field, the average field in Pioneer is being sprayed not 10 times a year, but 240 times per year. Is that correct? Okay, I wanted to ask Thomas from pesticide, are there regulations about the frequency of spraying? Are there regulations about the combination of chemicals? But I just want to make sure that this data is correct. 240 days. Now, the quantity, the industry said about a pound a year per growing cycle, if this, right? And if there's 2 cycles, about 2 pounds. So if we took that, the highest producing states in the country are like Kentucky and North Carolina that grow tobacco, and right, and they use about 2 pounds per acre per year, correct? So if we take what the industry tells us, we're applying as much pesticide as the most pesticide applications of any state, the top 4 states, correct?
Yeah, let me try to clarify it.
Please.
Just so we're clear. So first, the clarification is that if you take that industry spreadsheet, or the chart, and you did 2 seasons, our average year would be among the top 4 years for all of these mainland examples from 2003 to 2010. More importantly, our average year would be the highest average of any of the states that are in that chart, anywhere. Okay? Now, to answer your specific question on the field, the Waimea Research Center field, it's a complex of fields. And so they're applying different subplots on those fields through the year. So it's, when you say 240 days of the year, they may be spraying here, here, and here on this part of the field today, and then tomorrow they're spraying there, there, and there, a couple of other locations, right? But as far as if you actually add up and you look at the research center, it's 240 days on average. Now, there's some years where it's been higher than that substantially. There's some years where it's been lower than that. So that's the average over a number of years.
And you know, as I listen to this whole debate, I just hear everybody say, hey, we're regulated, we do these things, we apply according to the label, and all of that assumes production ag with, you know, 5 to 12 applications a year. So if I live next to a production ag field, weeks go by where there's no pesticides being sprayed, correct? I mean, every farmer tells me that, 6, 8, 10 weeks, nothing, correct. No exposure. But on Kauai, 240 days on average, there is pesticides being sprayed. Yeah, that frequency blows my mind, and I'm going to run out of time, and I want to get Mr. Valenzuela up here. But then when you got the actual data, this is what I'm reading here. You saw this chart, 8 pounds per year, not 2 pounds, but the actual data that you received, 8 pounds on average, correct?
That's right. For restricted use and the general use pesticides would be very similar.
Okay. So it's just a guy who lives here on Kauai. Production fields getting sprayed 8 to 10 times, the highest states at 2 pounds. On Kauai, getting sprayed 240 times on average 8 pounds, or 4 times as great as the highest application rate in the country.
That's right.
Listen, Kauai, aren't you shocked by this? I am. I'm shocked. And for, that's it.
Please, everybody can